So it really, there's no lying. You can see the range of this camera. Anything else? Should we go right into it?
Should we go?
We're gonna right into it. Yeah.
Well, who wants to? Who wants to go straight into this? But there's also we also have a little questions about high-speed cinematography in general that we can go into, and then there's a question. Do you guys want to jump? Who wants to just jump right into it? Yeah, raise your hands. Yes, jump right into the camera itself versus just cinematography in general.
We're gonna be answering some questions as you go. If you guys want to know something else, so there's gonna be still a little panel after or something, right? Is that right?
At the end of after mealtime and after the show time, we're going to do a panel.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. You guys are in for a treat.
Can I tell you what I'd like to test? So, so last time, just a couple hours ago, we tested 1250 ISO with the liquids here at 1,000 frames per second, or did we get up to 1,800?
No, 1,800 was the test with the nunchucks.
Yes. Okay. So we were at 1,000 for those. We were at 1250, but I want to see 400. We haven't done any like base control, which to me is 400 ISO, even though so it has a dual ISO at 400 and 1250. Yeah, we've jumped back and forth, but what we haven't yet seen is just a regular 1,000 frames per second, because that feels like a control to me because I'm used to seeing it. 400 ISO, which is its lower base, and and we'll bring the lights. Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
We're all used to seeing liquids in slow-mo, so that's a good control.
Now we can.
I think we're in the ballpark, though.
So while we're waiting, I could ask just to get a little more information about the people who are here, just to get to know you all a little bit better. How many of you here have ever shot 120 frames a second? Got a couple of you. How many of you have ever shot 240 frames a second? All right, all right. And who here has shot 480 frames a second or more? Same couple guys. How about 1,000 frames? Anybody? The 960, 1,000? All right, good. So we got some people who have not yet shot truly slow motion. So are we getting into the setup? Or
No, I was just listening in.
Oh, just okay, cool. We got locked in. So, one of the things you might be saying to yourself is, well, why would you shoot slow motion, right? So we have 5 kind of key points that you can explore through trying this out, and we have a couple little experimental things you could check out today. So if you look here, this is not just for, we're not doing Breaking Bad, right? We're not about to cook some meth, maybe. But happy accidents could happen. What we've got here is a little glass that we picked up at Target, and in that glass we've got a little magnetic capsule, and this guy will spin that capsule and make that water go crazy. Now, why would we want to do that, you might ask? Well, we want to create a little vortex because, what looks cooler than some kind of whirlpool vortex type action when it's moving really, really slow. So we're going to create sort of a little bit of an illusion, and we're going to pull the camera right up to it so you can kind of just see, one of the main things we very easily know about slow motion is that things that move slow look really cool, right? So that's what we're going to do right now. We have any fans of the Waterworld stunt show at Universal Studios? All right, well, this is nothing like that, so I'm sorry. My apologies. They do have some Waterworld shows, so maybe later you could look at it in DaVinci Resolve. Does anybody have any questions about what we're doing or why we're doing it? Because we got the robot arm. The robot's going to let us move the camera around the subject matter, which is this little Breaking Bad beaker here. No? All right. Yes, you got a question. Good.
Yeah, so technical question actually, why only 1250 at the highest for ISO? Because I've seen other cameras, like my Blackmagic goes up to, for its native ISO, 3200, right? Or some other cameras with 1600.
Great question. It's not a design choice really. It's what the best sensor available that we could find for the camera has to offer. So typically camera companies don't necessarily, they will design the sensors, but they don't make them. So you're limited by what can possibly be done at the very moment. In this case, we opted for a BSI, a backside illuminated sensor, which is the first commercially available backside illuminated sensor that's a global shutter as well, which makes it a lot more sensitive in terms of global shutter. Like if anyone's used to Phantom or any like high-speed camera or global shutter, they're typically less sensitive, so you need more light. And in high speed, having more sensitivity is very, very helpful because you already need more light. So now that I powered it up, so that's why it's not to just limit it, but having dual ISO on a sensor like this is already fantastic. And 1250, yeah, 1250 is a bit of an odd number, but that's what we got.
Great question.
Yeah, great. The higher ISOs are really relatively recent.
Yeah,
I'm not taking a look at why, but that we don't do it. I mean, there must be a limitation with processing power.
Did anybody see the movie A Complete Unknown? What did you guys think of that movie? Pretty cool, right? Different look. I mean, look-wise, I like the look. I mean, story-wise, we can get into that another time. It's a cinematography day today, so. But in that movie, they used the Venice 2 and turned the ISO way up and shot at night at a deep stop, am I right? Like something like an 11. That was a Fade and Papa Michael ASC, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So nowadays, we're really spoiled in the time that we live in, and that's something that we can thematically say about cameras. I mean, life, it's good, it's bad, it changes. In my opinion, it's not the best time right now, but what that means is we have the opportunity to change that again and make tomorrow a brighter day. And I think that's why we're all here. We love movies, we love storytelling, and I think that we all share a belief that through storytelling we can find common ground and make the world a better place. We are artists, we are dreamers of dreams. We are the music makers, am I right? Cool, so thank you for being here, and thank you for hearing that. And like one of the key things that we can do as artists is use tools. Tools like these cameras, or movies are inherently a technological art. Without having a camera, it's a lot harder to make a film. You could still scratch on a piece of celluloid, but there's a lot of technology and human interest and human innovation that goes into making movies possible, and that's something that brings us all together. The key point that I'm getting to here, and that's a bit of a ramble, just like going around in circles, just like that water. What I'm getting to here is that we are spoiled for choice with cameras these days. Cameras are much more sensitive. So who knows what the exposure triangle is? I know you know. You heard of the exposure triangle. So there's three basic things that affect the way a motion picture or still photography, they call it photography for a reason, as Mr. Stump said earlier. It's the art of capturing photons, or the science of capturing photons, light, particles, or waves, and recording them and then being able to view them again. So back in the day, film substrate, the part that's recording those photons, had a limited amount of sensitivity. So in that exposure triangle, you have the sensitivity that's sometimes called ASA or ISO, which is just a standardized measurement of how sensitive the film was, and now the digital sensor, digital medium, is at capturing those photons. We have the shutter speed, which is how much time, how much temporal passage there is during the frame and between the frames, right? So those things are inextricably linked. You can't be recording and not recording at the same time. You're either recording or you have your eyes closed, right? So just like that, the camera has a shutter, whether it's a digital electronic shutter or a mechanical shutter, that's gonna close for a certain amount of time and be open for a certain amount of time to let those photons in. And then the final thing is the pupil, the aperture, and that's what our lens has, that's what our eyeball has, and that's our third way of controlling the light. But those three things in that triangle are inextricably linked from one another, and they're going to affect how much photons or how many photons get onto that film and make an image that we can see. And this particular camera has what's called a global shutter, which means that the entire sensor, the entire substrate, receives all those photons and then it blanks at the same time. And that's more similar to the way that a film camera would work, where you have a mirror that comes down and a shutter that comes down and closes off access to those photons. Listen to that mesmerizing sound. Can you hear that? You didn't know you were going to get some ASMR today, did you? Well, that's enough of my yapping, honestly. Like, I think you all know what we're talking about here, but that was just to fill time so that these guys could put up this beautiful image of this swirling water with particles. And particles, like light photons, are all around us. I could listen to you yap all day. Thank you, thank you. So with all that yapping, did any questions arise for any of you? I know this has been a bit of a metaphorical, philosophical exploration. Yes? So just to relay your question for everyone that might not have heard it, have we used this camera outside of a studio setting? Yesterday we had the pleasure of filming professional skateboarder Jamie Foy, and the camera was being operated by Ty Evans, who's here with us. And so we actually have clips from yesterday's session on the DaVinci Resolve station that is just over your shoulder by my good dear friend Hajun with the blue hat. He will be able to allow you into that DaVinci Resolve to start editing, looking at the footage, trying it out, and seeing how far you can push it. And the clips are raw, so you have a lot of latitude for color correction, much like a digital negative, which is exactly the wrapped codec that this camera makes. So, you know, we think of a negative in film as the digital negative. It's a raw file, so you have a lot of color correction possibility. And the camera is usable outside. Today we happen to be in the studio at the moment, but if you want to go outside and do some outside stuff, we can absolutely do that. We have one that has got a lightweight battery. This one, you know, we want to look fancy with a big robot arm. So, you know, the robots, they say they're going to be our overlords, but for now, we're the overlord of this one. So we came here to show this guy who's boss. So the camera's recording in a proprietary wrapper. I believe it's called something like PXL for now. PXBL. And inside that wrapper are cinema DNG files. And it's at the time being 10-bit raw. So it's a, you know, lightly compressed raw. Not compressed at all. Oh, uncompressed but 10 bits, sorry. Truncated at 10 bits for now.
Let's do one.
All right, let's do it. We also had a guy with nunchucks earlier. That's pretty cool, am I right? So these guys are...
All right, you ready? Yeah. Here we go. All right, you're rolling, yeah? Camera's rolling, and 3, 2, 1, go.
Ooh. So you might be wondering, why did the screen turn black? It's because we got a clip and then cut the camera immediately. All that stuff happened in a split second. And you might be wondering, well, why does the preview look so kind of choppy? The frame rate and the data rate are so high that you actually can't preview it with the amount of processing power in the camera at the time being with the current firmware. But when you get into the computer, you'll see exactly how smooth and fluid that is.
Yeah. It's happening.
So you can see the orange liquid is going in there, and then on the other side you got the blue liquid, and they're going to meet, and then something's going to happen, am I right?
There it goes, mixing. So, forever with high-speed cameras, and this one as well, is there's a big difference between what we're seeing out of the video feed versus what we get the final image. So the file that's coming in, the PXLB? PXPL, I almost had it. I'm going to get that acronym. But transcodes, it goes through a process using proprietary software to make the DNG sequence, which is going to look different and much better than this. And then it'll be up to the software that you're using to interpret the footage. And since this is so new, we can previously with Phantom cameras too, we would make custom LUTs and have a little library of things to use to sort of match the things. And I imagine folks and myself is going to do that. And hope that DaVinci Resolve and other ones decide to say, hey, we're going to make something that translates this for filmmakers.
The Pixboom itself. So basically, it's not a transcoding at all. So the PXBL format is the raw proprietary format, and it really just is a wrapper for 10-bit raw with the header and everything and stuff. This SDK can be provided to Blackmagic, to Adobe, to any editing or coloring manufacturer. So ultimately, eventually, the goal is to not have to go through this conversion process using the CineViewer, which is just a small app that all it does is extracts cinema DNGs from the PXBL. There's no transcoding happening. There's no compression happening because it's just rewriting the RAW into a different format that is friendly to the other apps because we can record compressed DNG in camera. You guys have heard about Red litigating everything and stuff, so it's not a thing. Yes. Yeah. Pulling the stuff off this camera is quite, it's as easy as pulling a drive out, connecting it to your laptop and pulling it out. Now, I don't know if you guys were familiar with the Inspire 2 and 3 from DJI. So the RAW that it would record had to, similarly, it would record like a proprietary RAW, and you had to do a conversion process to get to those. It adds time, rather it didn't, but like I said, it's just a matter of adopting the PXBL into Premiere, Resolve, or whatever softwares we use, and then that step's gonna be, it's not gonna be a thing anymore. Also, shortly after launch, as shortly as possible, we will support ProRes in camera. So that's gonna be interesting. I prefer to keep the latitude and sort of the flexibility of RAW. And also, interestingly, oftentimes ProRes is heavier than RAW because it's the Bayard. You get your 3 channels, you get everything. But for a lot of people, it's going to be a very interesting, in terms of workflow, it's going to sort of flow better. Any questions?
Yep.
Yes.
Is the drive that you guys are using for this camera
Yep.
the only drive you can use, or can you use 7 SSD?
No, it is. Yeah, it is a proprietary drive. It's a small. You can after that you can go to the table and see. It's a small mag. Inside, there's 2 NVMe drives that are in RAID. Probably in the wild, some people are going to try to shock it and put their own NVMe's there to get more capacity. We don't support that. We don't encourage that. Your mileage may vary. I mean, I've had to do it during development because I've had drives go. Like we had problems with engineering samples. Those drives are in RAID. They're stripped out of firmwares. They are binned and produced at the factory to be a pair of drives that will work bit by bit. So it's not something that's going to be a DIY solution, but the drives are quite competitively priced. 2.5 terabytes for, I don't know, under $2,000 or something like that. So it's a lot of space. Anything else you guys would like to know or see? Great question. So yeah, for people that are familiar with high-speed cameras, there'll be a lot of different ways to trigger it, usually because it's so much high speed and we'll be filming things that happen very fast. It's hard to determine where we're going to shoot. So a lot of cameras will use a start trigger, middle trigger, or end trigger. And this is because traditionally most high-speed cameras use a RAM buffer, and this is where all the frames are saved. And then, so basically you have this RAM buffer where it's continuously recording in that RAM buffer. And as it does, as it reaches the capacity of the RAM buffer, it starts erasing the beginning and keeps writing. So you always end up having whatever capacity that RAM buffer have, and it's just rolling. And when you press stop, you have whatever you were recording that up to that capacity. So we have a version of this in camera. There's a small buffer. It's about 20 gig buffer. So it gives, depending on resolution you choose, it'll give you about 2 seconds, which doesn't seem like a lot, but think of it in terms of 1,000 frames per second. It's more like a minute, or just 40 seconds. And also, the main thing about the camera is that it's not designed to be used the same way, like former high-speed cameras were made, because they all came from scientific and military or industrial applications. So it was never really designed to be a camera for filmmakers. But we just wanted to use it, so we found ways around it, and we got used to it, and we became accustomed to the way these cameras worked. This camera has been designed from the ground up to be a camera for filmmakers. So it works the same way anyone would expect. You'll set your shutter speed, your white balance, your shutter, your frames per second, your resolution, press record, press stop, you got it. So people are going to be used to that. Of course, being that we're recording at such high speed, you're going to want to have sort of the possibility to limit the kind of clips you're recording, like having sort of an end trigger or a start trigger, just to keep your media manageable, which is something that we're going to do, but it's not doing it the same way. So you're going to define like a sort of predetermined duration, and it's basically the camera's going to stop recording for you after this end, or you can use that pre-record buffer, that 20 gig that, depending on resolution, gives you up to 2 to 3 seconds if you go lower resolution. Right?
So I just got a notification. It's very important, from the folks in the parking lot with the food truck. They told me to tell you, if you're hungry, not just for knowledge, but for actual food, now is a great time to use your food ticket and get your food before they close out. So I just want to make sure, if you didn't get your food from Mr. Charlie's, now is a great time to do it. And secondly, I'm looking for 2 volunteers from the audience, because I also, need to make a commercial for Mr. Charlie's today. So I'm looking for someone who has experience being a commercial director and someone who wants to be talent. Okay, come on down. What's your name?
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
Myra.
Myra?
Yeah.
So pleased to meet you. Thank you for volunteering. I'm Dan.
Dan.
From Atlas Lens Co. You may have heard of me. If not, follow at atlaslensco.com. And come see me every Wednesday in Glendale, California, home of the Mitchell camera, from 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 a.m. You can consider it office hours. We call it Wednesday Lens Day. It's literally every Wednesday, but come make yourself comfortable. You're very welcome here. And you have your Mr. Charlie's, right? Did you try the food? And it looks like you got a toy too, am I right? Tell me about that.
What is it? It's a millionaire ticket. Oh. So it's either a setting up.
Hold up. Powerball ticket in a prize pack? What does it say? Not a millionaire yet.
Yeah.
Ah, key word yet. You could win today. I mean, I'm not Mr. Beast or anything, but
It's something to aspire to.
something that, we're all rich in love. Am I right? Like, we got each other at least. We got people. We got free food. We're rich in that. But thank you for volunteering. That's so cool of you. Thank you. And then I'm looking for a director, someone that wants to really, I see a gentleman in the back. I see a heart. Come on down. I think I know you from somewhere.
I've seen you.
Oh, thank you.
What's going on, Dan?
Great to see you. Thank you. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, sure. I'll try to keep it brief. Hey, guys, I'm Brendan Belomo. I'm a feature film director, but I got my start in commercials and visual effects, and I directed the launch films for the Phantom Flex 2K and 4K cameras. And so I've had a lot of experience with those and a lot of robotics experience. So I'd love to come in and chat, talk shop with you guys, and make a little shot from a commercial with you. I just finished this documentary, which is called Porcelain War, which was nominated for the Oscar last year, which is very different. But what I realized is the thing that kind of unites what we all do, and the only reason I'm talking about that is technology is intrinsically tied to cinema, right? Whether it's a robot or a new sensor or a camera, it's part of the way that we tell stories. And anytime we have a new piece of technology, and we used a lot of that on this film that we just did, even though that was a documentary, there was off-speed frame rate stuff that we were doing. And what allowed that to work is it has a story element. That could be in a doc, that could be in a commercial, that can be in a VFX shot, right? And so when we're looking at robotics and we're looking at a camera, if I'm doing a commercial, I'm aligning 2 things. What is the technology that I have at hand, and what is the story that I'm trying to tell? And what we have to do is we have to find a crossover, right? So the first thing that I do as a director, hopefully there's already kind of a take on the commercial, is I go to the team and I say, hey, guys, what do we have? What can we do that's really special? And we kind of figure out from that end. And then we also look, okay, what's happening from the client side or the story side or the script side or performance side? What is the thing that we are trying to showcase in a new way? So I'll start with that. What's the product? What have we got? What are we gonna need to show about it?
We got Charlie's and a promise.
And a promise. Okay. So
A dream.
I know that we're here with the high-speed camera. You guys know that. What about this can we show that's going to be really amazing in slow motion?
French fries.
Okay.
happiness.
French fries, happiness. Okay. The first thing that I think of when I see French fries is I imagine, okay, French fries flying through the air. I want to see their shape. I want to see what they look like, right? This would be a very generic shot, but we're going to try to make it beyond that. We're going to make it special. We'll use the camera. We'll use your experience of the French fries, and we'll
Smile.
use this robot to do
Yep.
something really great with that. So, I mean, listen, if we were doing a really serious spot here, we would do multiple setups, and we would cut between them, right? That would be all part of the board. But we'll try to do a couple things in one shot. Maybe that'll be eating a French fry and tossing them up in the air and moving the robot at the same time. Maybe we'll combine a few things. Like if you're going to do this in a oneer, let's merge everything together. So when I come to a project, I come with boards, right? We come with a vision. We come with something that everybody is going to be able to look at. But we're just doing this on the fly here. So I think the three elements that we need is we got to get the different departments working together. We're going to figure out a movement that's going to work with you,
I
right?
think I like the on the French fry.
The snap.
Yeah, the little crunch.
Yep, the
likes the
snap,
crunch,
okay.
yeah.
Smile.
With a smile, that's great. But I think it would also be really neat to maybe have it raining French fries around you during the camera
I
move.
won't sacrifice my fries.
Okay, well,
I'll get
we're
you
going to
some.
get some extra fries for that because we've
I
got a
got
whole
you. I got
truck
you.
out here. We've got a prop department. Don't worry, you'll get extra fries for being on camera. Okay, because we want some dynamism, right? We want to see what the shot looks like. We want to get a sense of gravity. Listen, slow motion is really boring. Slow motion is just taking a lot of photos, and the more photos you take, the more uninteresting something gets. So you need a lot of movement, right?
It's motion, just slower.
It's motion, just slower. So we're going to drop some fries. What I'd love to figure out is how can we move the camera?
Yeah.
Am I talking to the right person? I'm Brendan, by the way. Drew, what's going on, man? So can we do
Welcome party.
an arcing movement in
Yeah,
a medium
we can do an
close-up?
arcing
What can
movement.
we do?
We can start in close and move out. Might
Yep.
be fun at the same time.
That's
yeah.
super cool.
Is a left, right, left? Yeah, and we can start low and go high, or vice versa.
Yep.
Maybe start high and low. Maybe just I.
I think, let me think. So we're going to have, the French fries are going to be falling. We want to emphasize a down motion. So what we want is counter motion, right? Because if I move with the French fries, they're going to be static. So let's first try not going from high to low, but from going low to high. So we're moving against gravity, which will add more speed to the fries.
We're fighting
Be
the
cool.
fries.
We're fighting the fries. Listen, to be blunt, I think a wraparound is probably going to be the best in high
Yeah.
speed because then you got this matrix bullet time thing.
I think so.
Let's start with that.
Let's do that.
The other thing that you're going to do when you do high-speed stuff, and I always do this on a commercial, test day, test day, test day, test day, test day. You bring the robot in, you get the camera, it could be on checkout, it could be a day before, and you run different scenarios. You try different stuff, right? Because what's going to happen? You don't want to fail with your idea like I am right now. Let's move this way, this way, this way in front of a client, right? Or in front of the director of VFX, whatever that may be. So it's all about that. So,
Rehearsal.
but we know wraparound is going to work. It's going to be awesome, and it's
It's
also
an
going to be
easy
safe,
one, yeah.
right? We're going to. That's another big thing. This is a very heavy, very industrial machine. This is a KUKA robot. It's could hurt somebody very seriously.
remember,
so just
yeah.
keep a distance, right?
One of the suggestions there was to pull out. I would not
Pulling
be
out.
suggesting to pull.
That's
in really
right.
fast 'cause
That
it's dangerous.
requires
Yes,
a lot of rehearsal and planning, and can only
Yeah.
be done in a
We'll
really safe
run it
way.
in reverse.
Or run in reverse, exactly, which could also be cool, and the fries would be going backwards.
Ah,
Also
we're
interesting.
getting low. We'll keep the bar low. For
Okay,
today.
we'll keep
Yeah,
the bar low.
yeah.
So wrap around
Yes.
would be great.
Yes.
So first we want to block, light, shoot, right? So we're kind of already lit. We're
Classic.
going to walk
Let's
into
pull this
that.
guy.
Block,
Classic.
light,
Let's pull this
rehearse,
out,
shoot.
and then you'll pop in. Okay, I'll hold that.
Do you want me to get a director's chair or you want her to be standing?
I think standing is, how's the height work for you guys if she's standing? You think standing's gonna be better? Yeah, I think standing easier and easier to adjust. Yeah, and we'll come up with a safe movement. So we always like to do the robot movement first because we never want to bring people near it until we see it.
Should I get you a stand-in for her, like something that could be where she would be, so you could
That's
focus.
an amazing idea. Yeah. So we can
Ooh, okay.
set up the shot often with, if we just have a C stand with something on it. Then we can
I thought you were
we
gonna say
can
bring
frame
in
up.
an extra or something to be.
Well, yeah. But with a robot, the extra should
No,
be the C stand.
To be honest, no.
For super safety.
To be honest, so you guys are on the right track, but we're totally safe right now. I'm gonna have very close control with this camera.
Great.
And I'm gonna be right next to it, and she can stand right here. And we can frame it up properly.
Okay,
Otherwise,
perfect.
We're
So then
gonna
let's
find.
just-
Otherwise, we're gonna
we're gonna
frame it up
adjust
with
and
the
adjust.
C-stand, we're gonna find out she's shorter.
That's
It's gonna
perfect.
be a whole thing. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he already knows
You can come
the
on in.
system. Probably done this shot many times. So we're going to go straight to talent.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, can we do the move slowly first?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Of course.
Okay.
So why don't we design our? Why don't we just do we'll do a simple 2-point and we'll do a beginning and end. Let's start with the end.
Yep.
So
okay.
tell me
let's
where
start
we're
with
gonna
the end.
land, 'cause that's
so
what we define.
we want to end over here. So come forward a little bit. We're going to try to. So the robot also has a range of motion, right? So if we're going to do a wraparound, like ideally, I'd like to arc. I'd like to start over here, kind of 3/4 this way, come around front, and go over there.
And does it help if I move those C stands that are near the arm, and will that allow us to be a little further? Mentioning the range of motion, will that allow us to be a little further from the backdrop?
The lighting or
Just from the backdrop,
Yeah, let's
to give
find it.
separation?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Get her up.
So let me know where's a convenient spot for you. I'll get those C stands moved.
Take a big one big healthy step forward.
Yeah, come into maybe here. How's that? Is that feeling more in the zone?
See, let me see.
Okay, cool. Do we have a monitor? I feel like this is a weird talk show, but you're doing great.
768. You weren't here yesterday, were you?
No,
No, you weren't. So my favorite frame rate, 768.
768.
That's where we're going. So it looks like 1,000, feels like 1,000. It's also a perfect multiple of 24.
Yep.
Really nicely ramps and does all.
Easy for ramping. That's great. Yeah, you want the math to work out so you don't have to do, you can do easier frame rate conversion later rather than using optical flow came up earlier, but rather than using different rate conversions that are vector based. So yeah, if you've got a multiple, that can work really well. The other thing too that's really neat that I'll talk with you guys about while we're doing this is, you guys always see slow motion looks very sharp when you speed it back up to 24 frames a second. Have you guys seen that? Nodding? Nodding? Yes, okay, so why? Because if you just speed something up, the computer's just taking one frame and there's gonna be no motion blur. How much motion blur do we usually have at 24 frames a second? 180-degree shutter, 50%. It's got some blur to it, it looks normal. So when you're doing really advanced speed ramping for a commercial, for a feature, you actually want to bring that motion blur back, and you can do that in Resolve. There's motion blur tools in there. You can do it in Nuke by combining these frames together or adding a little blur there. That's really helpful with giving a natural feel. Otherwise, it just looks like any other sports documentary where you've just went to 24 frames a second. It's all choppy and it ramps back down, unless you want that for the sharpness, right? So it's one of those things to play with and to be really aware of. The other thing that I do whenever I do a shot with a robot, and this is really helpful for post, because the robot can repeat its movement exactly, it's the easiest system to get what's called a clean plate, right? So like let's say later the client's like, hey, I don't want to see that C-stand in the back, that's going to be a problem. Well, if you can shoot a shot without the talent and you just have that background, that's really helpful. What else can we do with that? We can shoot more French fries, right? Because we're going to have some French fries in the air. Then you can composite those in later. This is so fast to do once you set a robot up. High speed is about two things. One, it takes forever to set up, and two, it's really quick to get the shot. It only takes like 1 second to film a high-speed shot. And once you're there, takes are fast. Setup is slow. So what you want to do is plan your variation around the takes, not around the number of times you have to move the robot or relight. That's going to take forever. So that's another thing that we can do is we can add some spice to the shot by, doing more French fries, or maybe we'll have a little hidden object in there that we can composite in later today on the computer. Okay, how are we going over here?
All right.
Getting lit?
Choice, Mr. Director.
Yeah. Oh,
Now,
goody.
Because we don't have art department, we don't have gaffers, we
Yep,
don't have
yep.
a lot of things here. So we have a choice to make. We're going to see the background. It's going to be tough to avoid.
That's okay. We're going to just pretend that it's a beautiful set. Oh, 100% we embrace it.
Our other option is to stay in the background.
No,
and it's tiny.
we want more movement. The whole point of this is to stress the camera and the robot, and we're going to be focusing on you, and this is, it's a studio.
Yeah, we're going to ignore that ladder.
Maybe it's a very meta spot, and we're, later there's going to be all this footage of the robot moving around her, and that's in there too. So that's fine.
We're going to tilt this down, leaving this beam.
I don't want to use 400, because I'll shoot this to bounce it up, right?
We've done a lot of 1250.
Great. Sorry, say that one more time. I missed the tail end of what you're saying.
We're just going to tilt this down and bang it into that keyboard there to get rid of key from that side.
I'll stay out of the light.
We can also place that after let's see the move and get the move going, and then place that last.
Yeah, exactly. Let's tweak that.
Just so that we can safely move.
Yep.
Do the move first, then you light.
Exactly. Exactly.
So this is going to be our one. What do you think about this one? Keep in mind, it's not going to be about the one and the two. It's about what happens in the middle.
Exactly. Yeah, we're going to adjust the middle. But yeah, let's see the beginning and the end, and that seems fine for the one. Yeah, it's going to come around you. You're going to stay in the same spot, but it'll be dynamic. No, better not to. Just kind of be in the moment of Mr. Charlie's. Yeah, and then we'll come around you. Because if you track with the camera, then we kind of feel like we're doing nothing. You're the reference point, right? If you have two movements that cancel out, then you don't feel it. Let's see how we're looking. This is going to be great. Ooh, except I'm out of cable.
I'm going to roll around and find it too.
Sounds good. Okay, robot moves. So one of the things that's really neat, you can see this from all sorts of different companies, but for example, you've got these guys like the Marmalade. They'll do stuff where they have one robot moving the camera, and you have other robots that are triggering other stuff.
So a full line of, I don't know if you guys are robot nerds, but motorized precision.
Motorized precision.
I worked with camera control for many, many years.
Yep.
Motorized precision, their software is just bonkers. It's such cool stuff.
No, motorized precision is amazing.
Very nuts. So we've got this one, which is a 20-foot arm. This is a larger one is a 5-foot arm, and then this new one is the compact arm, which goes mounts onto cars and does all sorts. We're talking about Taiwan's mount on a helicopter. We'll do that soon.
That's awesome. So the idea with having multiple robots is you can do really cool stuff like have a light moving in sync with the camera, or you can trigger an event, right? What do I mean by that? You can drop something. You can start a flame going at a certain time. You can move an object. So often when you get into more complex commercial work or more complex VFX work, we're doing compound movements, right? You can move a set and a light and a camera, right? And all those things can be doing, real world positions.
Lens flares from Anamorphic.
We love lens flares from Anamorphics. Hey, Dan.
Can you hit me back with that?
Hey, Atlas. Yeah.
Hit that back.
Yep. Beautiful. Yeah, just maybe tilt down in the head a little bit. I think we're overshooting the glass.
Tilt down?
Sorry, tilt down on the light, on the lamp. That was my mistake. Oh, there we go. That's cool. This is going to be neat. So when we come around, we'll get that flare will come into play, right? So like the more things change over time in the shot, the more dynamism we're going to get. So that's another way that's really going to help us. So the other thing we got to keep track of with this is a focus pull, right? So do we have focus motor? Okay, great. So the robot will also be doing that part of it. It's exciting. What do you think the robot's name is?
Gency.
Gency, with a J. Gency. Okay, perfect. Is that the robot's actual name? It's named K103. It is now. Beautiful.
You guys might want to stand still there. I'm just going to catch a focus on you there. Yeah, let me get the perfect focus for you there.
So one of the other things to keep track of when you're doing these kind of dynamic shots, and it's not really that different than like a technocrane shot, is shadows, right? Because we've got this big robot that's moving. So we really have to be cognizant of that. The second one is the idea that this robot arm has joints in it, just like your arm. So you can't, twist every which way. It can't either. So when you work with robotics, the most important thing, as a director, as a DP, camera operator, whatever that may be, is to be super familiar with what's possible, right? The more you know about that, the more you can adapt it and actually even say, maybe the robot's not the right choice. Maybe it should just be a slider. Maybe just rip the camera around really fast. And then knowing the drawbacks of that. It's not repeatable. You could be blowing focus all the time. Then you could be wasting talent time, especially if you have celebrity talent, right? You want to get this all programmed with a stand-in. So the trade-offs have real economic, repercussions, and you have to factor that in from day one, because you're going to get people to sign off on this. It's a very expensive rental, but the results are incredible. So you just have to balance that out. How are we looking, guys? Oh, yeah, this is a great question. The question was, how much prep do you usually need? So there's a couple things that factor in. If you've worked with the team before, the prep time goes down. If you haven't, you always want to have some time to kind of get to know each other, get to know what's possible, because often there'll be people that'll be like, oh yeah, we can do that in an hour. But unless you've worked with them, you don't really know. So you kind of have to buffer it out. And your AD, your producer are going to be like, hey, I'm actually going to buffer to this, to this, to this. And it'll just grow and grow and grow. So I always say testing, testing, testing. If you can go over to whoever is doing the motion control work, to their studio or their warehouse or their test space, and get that working and design the moves, almost like we're doing here, before you get to set, then you can come in, you can maybe have a pre-programmed move. That'll reduce prep. You can know the capabilities of the robot. That'll reduce prep, right? So it all is about front loading. Set time is where you have, you got the most people, the most gear, the most money burned per minute. So it's just moving as much of the creative process and the testing process beforehand. That'll just make it really, really sing. So, but to more directly answer it, I always like to have at least 1 to 2 days of, kind of primary team getting together. It doesn't have to be the name talent, but have something basically like this, get together and run through all the main shots and get a feeling for it.
Okay.
How are we looking?
Good. Let's do a little rehearsal here on the move only. So this is a safety pass. I'm just watching how things move here.
Excellent.
Letting Myra learn how the robot's going to move. So this is a very, very slow version of it.
Nice. Yeah, about just a couple more inches. Right there. That's great. So we're just revealing the flare. So if we had a whole crew, we would put down a tape mark, obviously, or throw down a little bag there, but we're okay for a moment. Maybe we have tape. Maybe. Ah, Dan Keynes. Thanks, man. Careful. Robot is moving. This is going to be awesome, guys. Okay, so the next thing, we'll do this first, but I do want to do one where we have some fries, either flying or dropping. But we're going to get the dry move set up first, right? Because, yeah, we'll check it out. Cool.
So let me double check. This now is the V-spot.
Great, go ahead.
So this camera being a prototype here, some things are not quite working. So one of the things that's going to be coming soon is an external trigger that can connect to multiple different things, including my software. We can just trigger it straight from the robot. Today, there's a button right here that Ariel's going to press as fast as you can, because we have, what's our buffer time on this now?
Around 2 seconds, I guess.
So just under 2 seconds? Yeah.
No, just a bit more because it's 760.
Yeah, so the final version of the camera is going to have different altogether things. This camera has a 2-second buffer and also no way to hit the button unless he goes and touches it, because it's a prototype. And I can talk more about how that works and pre-triggers work later. It's a whole rabbit hole.
It's a whole thing. And so the idea, I'm sure you guys have heard about this, but for anybody that's new here, is the trigger can start the camera recording, or the trigger can actually say, hey, everything that you've got in your RAM buffer, right, because these high-speed cameras, many of them are always recording, and they just replace what's in their memory. It can say, hey, stop recording and just keep everything that you have. What does this do? It makes the camera into a time machine that sees 2 seconds into the past. This is how they get those shots of those whales bursting out of the water. They don't know when to start recording. They're just sitting there waiting, waiting, waiting. And after the whale comes out, they press trigger. And that records everything in the past. That's what makes these cameras so amazing. You can do that with the Phantom, you can do the Pixboom, et cetera, et cetera. And what he's talking about is having a way that the robot and the camera can talk to each other. Robot moves. Communication.
So it's on a loop
Clear,
right
clear.
now. I hit the button earlier. It's on a loop right now for us to learn about the movement here. So I'm just
Yep.
this is safety reasons as well. We're going to see what this looks like, double check things, and then we're going to pump up the speed.
Sounds
We're
good.
ready to pump up the speed. Don't come any higher. Yeah, this is going to go really fast. I'm going to wait till it gets to your position, and I'm going to cancel.
It's a nice move, guys. This looks really cool. And so as we're working, we're always going up in speed, right? We're just getting really comfortable, getting really safe. Everybody's aware. You know, sometimes on set we'll set up mats or pieces of tape, or there's even contact mats or systems that'll shut the robot off if you walk there. There's different systems that go. You have an he has an e-stop too? Exactly. So he's got a safety button, so that's his responsibility. So it's always about just delegating who's keeping track of that. How is the set going to remain safe, right? Because this is, there we go. Clear. Here we go.
We're about to move. Pay attention to the robot. It's going to move faster than before, but not quite full speed yet. Here we go. Robot is moving. Like you said, we're gaining speed here. Make sure things feel safe. Nothing's going to fall off the camera. I'm going to cancel. I think we're ready for full speed. That was half speed.
That was half speed. Well, this is cool.
Stand by. Not moving. You ready?
Yeah.
I'm still going to run it in a loop.
Yeah, I'm not armed yet.
Well, we're still just in loop mode. Okay, you're not armed?
No.
Okay, that's fine. Robot move.
Okay, so that move
It's
is
on a loop. It's coming back.
less than 2 seconds, so we should have more than enough buffer.
1.5 seconds.
Yep.
Let me put it back to you.
Are we soft a little bit at this end on her?
So it does look a smidge soft here. Adjust that.
One of the things about high speed that I'm sure is on everybody's mind is we're always fighting light, right? Because we're shooting 700 frames a second,
Robot moves to you. Here it
so we're
comes.
getting pretty wide,
And here's
so
the-
focus is
Robot
challenging.
moves. And action robot. And you're clear. You're safe. You can go ahead and roll it.
Camera arm.
All right, I'm going to send it back to 1. Robot moves to 1. Okay. So you want to do any kind of action you like. We can do a dry run with less fries or whatever you like, and maybe build up to more and more fries.
Yeah, sure. Well, let me think about where we're going to get the fries from. So are you capturing at the end tail trigger or head trigger?
End trigger.
End trigger, perfect. So he's at the end of the move. He's going to record backwards in time. He's going to trigger at the end. All right, so I think
Can I make
we should do some fries.
Yeah, we should do some fries.
Yeah, go ahead.
Cinematography trip, slow motion. Biting, eating, chomping, chewing. Not awesome. Yeah. So holding up a fry with a smile. Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Do we have fries? Yeah, we have fries, right?
Okay, where we got the fries? Fries are flying in. Okay, so now we got to figure out the protocol. How do we get the fries in the air while you're moving? How do you want to call it?
Well, yeah. Thanks. Yeah, let's.
Are they gonna fall
This is-
first or the second?
Well, there's so many ways.
There's a couple different ways to do it. One of the things that really helps is constant dropping.
Yeah, we can. I mean, we want to get a ladder over
Yeah,
here
we
and
got
ask
a
one of
ladder.
the guys to come and
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that whole thing. Yeah.
Throwing could be cool, but I think raining would be better.
Maybe throwing would be a good use of that double back feature where you're recording the pass.
Yes,
Oh,
which
yeah.
we're doing.
Yes,
Exactly.
we're gonna do that.
We'll do that, but I think let's start with dropping them so that we just get a nice kind of constant rain.
Can we get some fries?
Yeah. Dan, do we have fries?
Well,
Fries are coming in.
Well, what I would do in this
Yeah, what would you do?
situation is I would lob it up so you can get a cup or 2 cups
Yep.
and come up so that they spread out before they come down.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna get fries on you. You're gonna get fries on you. It's okay. Sorry. Okay, so who should do the
Who
fry?
wants to-
Who
we got
wants
a
to be our
volunteer?
fry launcher? You're standing in place for Robot 2. Anybody want to be involved in our little escapade? You know, it doesn't have to be your own fries. It's other fries that are provided for you. Who wants to help?
Yes, please.
Was that it? Was that a raised hand? You want to be fry thrower? Amazing.
Can we get it actually in one of these boxes would be great.
Okay. So
Oh, great, yes.
you're throwing it. Okay, so the first thing we got to do is we got to figure out where the robot ends so that we know you're in a really safe spot, right? You might even be in the shot. That's okay.
We'll do a whole safety thing.
We'll do a whole safety thing again.
Stand back.
Great.
And, we'll run it so you can see what happens. Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll get you the fries so you can throw them in the air.
We'll be okay without a ladder. So the idea, we're going to get your box just like that. And the idea is to throw them up and lob them so that they kind of spread out over top. So it looks like rain. Versus shooting them at
Yes, exactly. Now, here's a question. Do you have a trigger that's fast enough for this guy to move that you want to wait to see if the fries are in the air and just press the robot to go? Do we count down? This is a big question when you have manual action, right? This is always tricky, so we got to solve this.
So the way I like to go about it usually, unless there's more timing involved, is a 3, 2, 1 countdown. So 3, 2, 1, action. Often everybody will just go on action, and then we're going to learn something.
Yeah,
Things
and then we'll learn
happen
something
so
we'll
fast
measure.
in slow motion, it's so hard to tell. Somebody's action is a microsecond before the other. If you don't give anybody direction and have them both clap at the same time, they will not clap at the same time.
Exactly.
So we kind of just all go on action and then be like, okay, instead of action, robot, you go a beat before the action, and then fries, you go one after. Or
That's
whatever we
great.
learn.
So what we're getting at is this kind of like, it's like a .com idea. Fail faster, right? Because we could be discussing this for 10 minutes. No, let's do it this way. No, let's do it that way. No, it's just 3, 2, 1, action. On action, we do everything, and then we adjust, right? Because you want it, shooting is quick. Arguing about stuff is slow, right? So let's rock.
Oh yeah, let's think it through. Yeah, as far but we can think a little bit beforehand. You're right. So 3, 2, 1, action. Should be too late.
Just barely hit, right.
She needs to go on 1, 3, 2, 1. Two. So she'll go on 2, and I'll hit go on the robot on action.
Yeah, quick question. This is important for on set. Do we want to catch the fries in something so that we can repeat the move?
With a Fernie pad.
I could attempt to catch them with a fry catcher. And I got a phone call from the people for ethical treatment of French fries earlier. So I just want to make sure that.
This is a union job, so. Yep. All right. Oh, hey, ethical treatment of French fries. No fry left behind.
You know, there's more lids back now. See how it does.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
If I turn to face the camera as it's sort of.
If you follow the camera, it'd be great.
I think follow the camera. I think there'll be too many timing issues, especially on the first one. Maybe after we got all our timing down and then we wanted to add an element, but like, I think there will be enough little timing things on this first one.
Let's try it. That's a great suggestion.
Fry landing pad? Are we happy with that?
I think it's perfect. I think we're gonna spill over slightly.
So you want to play first AD then?
Yep. Okay.
So just to go over again, we'll make sure they're. So it'll be 3, 2, 1 action. She goes on 2, and the robot moves on action.
Yep.
Great.
So when you hear 2, just listen for that. Just pay attention to 2. He's got his cue.
But let's do a quick safety pass so you can see what's going on.
Safety first.
So 2 is your fry trigger, right?
This is our 1 and our 2 on.
Okay, robot goes to 2. You're listening. That's excellent. That was perfect. That was perfect. The robot was moving, and you were doing it. This is going to work, you guys. This is good rehearsal here.
Yeah, we can see action when he says 3, 2, 1.
Sorry, that was my bad. No, I know. I'm excited too.
Literally 2.
It's going to be awesome.
And a little higher. So that's good. It gave us a rehearsal.
And our reset time is really fast. One time I had a project where we were dumping fluids together and our reset time was like an hour. We had to bring in the fire department to actually pump out the fluid tanks. It was like really a problem. So this is very fast.
My
Yes,
HR
this is-
department called and said not to talk about that.
Okay. Take one step back so it doesn't. Yeah, there you go.
So this is a dry rehearsal only. We're not going to record.
Quarter speed. Nobody's recording.
Yep, no fries, no recording.
Robot is moved. I think it's going to loop back, so it's going to keep.
So that's as far as it's going to go.
Because well, let's find a place for a French fry thrower because she's in frame right here. So I think now that you feel safe, come over this way.
And let's have the safety spot be, you can only stand in this puddle, right? Okay, let's double check that again, make sure you're not getting too close. Okay, great. So we're creating things that are deterministic, right? If she has a mark she can't go beyond, then she doesn't have to remember, oh, where was I, where was I? It's really important for safety.
I got to take her.
Take, you got it? Hey, give her something not to move fast.
Oh, wait, we're adjusting, okay, now we're outside of the puddle, but now we're adding tape.
Problem is she's still in though. I think you need to take a big step back. She's still in the movie. Or maybe it's fun. Maybe we.
I think it's fun. I think let's not worry about it. Let's get one in the can. Yeah. You're in. This is better. It's better, guys. Oh, it's way cooler. Yeah, way cooler, way cooler. Okay, how are we feeling? Okay, not too close.
Now it's going to move really fast towards
Yeah.
It's not going to move past
I think let's move over a little bit, just from a safety standpoint, yeah. No, I know, but you're braver than me. Yeah, it's very heavy. Okay, that's a safer mark, guys.
It would just be a process.
Yeah. All right, guys. So, how are we feeling? Ready to go for a take?
Great. Yeah, you want me to stop it at 2 for you to get your position here?
Yep. Okay, so that's 2 for the end trigger.
Yep, you're there. And
There's another thing that I learned on high-speed shoots, so always shoot a reference video. Because that way you can figure out what the timing problem was. Because sometimes playback on a high-speed camera can take a while. DIT is doing this, camera's doing that. Yeah, what's the question? Sometimes just regular, and then you just step through it frame by frame, and sometimes slow motion. Today I'm going to do it in slow-mo.
Before we take one, can I play client for a second?
Yep.
Tell me, how annoying are clients, right? So I was wondering,
robot moves to 1.
as a client, I was wondering if we need a little more headroom.
That is not full speed.
What if I was to put her in a chair so that she gets more headroom? Would that be okay? Can we try it?
Should not be multitasking.
It's not a bad idea. Let's try it.
What? No. Well, so here. We can do that, and I'll be like, director, give me another 25 minutes.
Yeah, that might be a reblock.
I need to reprogram the robot. I need to do those things.
I think we should.
Yeah.
I think we should stick with
Which does
it.
happen. What you're saying is completely normal, but I will have to say, give me 25 minutes. Yeah.
Sometimes it's
So
good
let's
to
not-
let
that's
somebody
all.
ask the
Yeah.
question though, and then see what the response is.
No, I'm totally
I'm not
with,
going to say
yeah,
anything.
I'm with you on that. This is fun. It's fun framing, though. Yeah, I think we need to accept our.
No, I think it's going to. I think it's going to be perfect, guys. We're all set. All right. Is anybody not ready? Okay, so we're going to go for a take. So let's arm the camera, please.
It is armed.
Okay, guys, this is for real. So you're going to go 1, 2. Yep.
Copy. You're safe.
Yeah, we're rolling.
Okay, and then
I'm gonna bring it back to 1.
you're going to bring it back to 1, and you're going to do the timing because you're used to doing that. You're going to call it out, okay? Yep. Okay, guys, here we go.
Robot's going to 1. Clear. Stop. Holding on.
He's just going back. So don't, Go, Drew.
You ready?
Yeah.
Robot's going back to 1. Clear.
Now he's gonna say 3.
Okay. Anybody not ready?
Here we go.
So actually,
Do we have some action for Myra? Is there
got
action?
one.
I think there. Yes. That's great. Yeah. Great.
Drew, she's gonna go at 1. You're gonna go at action.
Great. 3, 2, 1. Action.
I think that's better.
Do it in EDK. Let me just tell you again. It's 3, 2, 1. Action. The space
Yep.
between my cadence.
Yep, so fries on 1.
Let me arm this here. Wait for that picture to come back. Where's that picture? There it is.
Yes, perfect.
Everybody ready? Here we go.
Yeah.
And Zen mode. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Action.
Cut. All right, let's try it out. Could see a playback.
Can I do it? Oh my god.
Let's see if we can.
Did great timing. We might need to change the aim a little bit, but we're going to check it out.
Wow.
Okay, guys, here we go. Oh, look at that.
I'm so
That's awesome. Okay, so the timing is perfect. Really good on 1.
just need to.
Yeah, maybe just, we could lob it a little bit more. Yeah, that was really good. Guys, what a great first take. Killer. Raining fries. Let's have a hand. Amazing job, guys. Amazing. The robot was on point. Camera was on point. Fries. Deliciousness. This is killer. Beautiful. So 768 frames a second is pretty slow, right? So like what we realize is the higher frame rate gets, the more craziness we need to have. Because once the fries are out of frame, there's, it's still a super cool shot, but it loses that dynamism, right? We need some reference to gravity. So that's why we'll get the fries moved over a little bit. Okay, so
Save the shot. So if you don't know about high-speed cameras, you have to then.
you got to save it or not.
Commit.
Yep, commit. Okay, so how much time does it take with the camera to save it? Do we want to save it? It's already saved. Okay, great. So that's very fast. First Phantoms came out, that would be 10 to 15 minutes. I'm not kidding, right? So it's like reloading an IMAX camera or Photosonics. It's a big deal, right? This is very easy. So we're going to clean up the fries. We're going to go for another take. We're only changing the angle of the fries, right? So one variable at a time. Once you're really in the groove, you can do multiple things at once. I was really good, guys. It's going to be killer. All right. Any other high-speed questions while we're resetting? Yeah, hit it. How many gigs?
15.
15.
About 16.
Right. So, and if that's in any sort of compressed or raw format, once you go to make a plate out of it or make a ProRes XQ or DPX or EXR stack, it's going to be bigger. It's going to be longer, right? Because you get so much data per second. So, yep. It's a lot. Is there a sweet spot?
Yeah, the sweet spot would be the native right now. We're shooting at 400 because we have the light, which is sweet. But this is a dual ISO camera, so 1250. If we were
If you needed it.
we could do 1250, which is another clean ISO. So like that's when the high gain
Kicks in.
and we drop in noise, we get the same dynamic range. So for this particular camera, pardon me? Well,
Sorry, Dan.
like the frame rate doesn't affect your choice of ISO. It's really the light available that you have that's going to affect how you choose your ISO. You will want to stay close to your base whenever you can to limit the noise that you introduce to the image.
And noise and dynamic range are related, right? As we gain too much noise, because we're pumping things up, we end up losing dynamic range. So they're all, we can have a whole other conversation about that. But yeah, this is one other advantage I'm going to tell you guys about. Given that hopefully the camera is very lightly compressed or somewhat uncompressed or totally uncompressed, fully uncompressed, okay. This is a best case scenario for what? Noise reduction. When you introduce compression, noise reduction becomes difficult. When you have only a few frames, noise reduction becomes difficult. This is the absolute best case scenario. Per second, we have 768 photos of the same thing. That is absolutely perfect for noise reduction. What does that mean? That means you can get more detail in the shadows. That means you can be more aggressive with underexposure. That means you've got so much information that you can push the limits of the camera more than you could at 24 frames a second because you're capturing more stuff. But
Gain like a stop in the shadow.
you can pretty much gain a stop in the shadows. But I would test that, right? You get to shoot underexposure charts, shoot people's faces under, and actually run a real-world noise reduction test before you know that and use it. Okay, guys, let's go for a take. We ready? Ready? Great questions.
So how was our timing? Do we need to
The timing is great. You're going to go on one. Just like last time, just hit her with the fries.
I think if your target is this bucket, I think that's gonna be good. Yeah.
It's going to be great.
If it hits her, plenty hit her, and also plenty fall in front of her. That's a good thing.
Okay, so we'll be going on one with the fries.
Okay, your arm, camera.
Okay, guys, we're going for a take. Here we go.
Okay, robot's gonna move back to one. Stand by, clear. Robot moves. Arming the robot.
And you call it when ready.
Anybody not ready? Good, here we go. I'm gonna do the countdown. Ready, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh.
Nice one. Wow, sweet. Okay, let's check it out. Taps up, playback. I like how our Phil is blocking the video village. All duck so you guys can see. That was really good. Whoa, great.
Oh, my eyes.
Hey,
I swear I'm happy. I swear.
so much concentration.
Maybe we could go at action so the fries are in sync.
Midway, yeah. So we'll move it a little later. We could try that. Could try on action.
You guys were right, everything at once.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
So we keep adjusting the timing.
And so you guys
That's really good.
This kind of stuff takes a lot of
You can speed it up a smidge, tiny bit, right?
Let's speed it up.
Dramatic, like,
Yeah.
We can get the shot of her just turning almost frozen in space.
That's great.
Things falling.
You were not 100? Did you go faster?
I'm very close to 100%.
Yeah, it looks like it.
It's close.
You know, we don't, you know.
So we'll go a little faster. The other thing too that we would get in post, which is hard to do on the playback from the camera, is we can ramp it, right? So we can go So you can go really fast, and then you can come into a slower speed, which would look really neat. That was excellent. So now we're going to go on action. We're adjusting. Everything else is great. Fry eating, great. Robot, great. Uh-oh, hang on. Am I in the way? Where are you guys going?
Careful not to hit you. Just look up.
Let me get the director's chair out of your way.
It's gonna fit, but just like so.
It's going to fit.
Oh, good idea. Yeah. Nice. Product placements.
You good?
Looking sweet.
Dan, why did it take you so long to think of that? That's what I want to know.
Nice, guys. All right. I think this is it. Third time's the charm. Crushing. Okay, everybody's got their marks. Marks are the same. Good, 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 good. That's looking cool.
Push it in at all?
All right.
Do you want to push it in further? We need it.
Yeah, need it more.
And you saved, right?
Oh, saving. Good.
My habit on high-speed cameras is as soon as I see it, assuming I know it's a decent take, man, I save it right away.
Yep.
What if the battery goes out, all sorts of it, like, boom, it's saved.
Yeah, that's key because it's in RAM, right? If we lost power, it could be a problem.
Mode right away too, because inevitably, if I don't do this, then somebody will distract me. I'll go walk over and be talking to them, and then I'll come back and be like, did I save that one or not? And there's ways to check, but like I don't want to waste my time, so I will sit there, save it, and before I walk away, we'll roll. Because now when I come back, I see it's rolling, therefore I must have saved it, or else it's gone. Yeah. So yeah.
Having a process and sticking to the protocol, it's everything, everything.
Yeah.
And we'll stay out of this bounce.
All right, saved right now, probably.
Totally saved?
What feels like 12 seconds-ish? Something? How long does it save?
Oh no, the thing is like 3 seconds.
It's that quick. Okay.
Crazy. So fast.
Well, it goes to SSD, so like it's already in the RAM. It's only 20 gigs, like 16 gigs, so it goes like
16
Perfect.
gigs? Okay.
yeah, it dump's in about 2 seconds.
Okay.
Perfect.
Comparison of Flex is a 64 gigabyte Flex, download the whole thing in 45 seconds.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
So that's
less than
significantly faster.
less than a third, but it's going much faster.
Yeah.
Faster.
Sweet, guys. All right. Shall we go for a take? Okay, let's bring everything back to one. Let's make sure we arm the camera. Okay, everybody on their marks and good safe spots. We got fries. This time on action. This time fries on action.
Oh, okay. Price on action.
Yep, we're adjusting. Yep, we're adjusting.
Can we hit her more with, can we hit Myra with it, or is that not? Unless that's against the.
What do you think, Myra?
Fries are safe for me.
Fries are safe for Myra. Okay, it's time. We're going. Time to hit with the fries.
Ideal world, so another thing about this kind of stuff too is we will ask for the things that are in top right. We'll be like, can you just make the splash a little bit bigger on
Yeah.
the bottom right, but not the left. Keep that exactly the same. And you're like, so, but we will, because if we ask for these things, then sometimes we get them. So it's worth asking. So what would be great is if you did just what you did, but hit just a few on her. Like don't dump them on her. In a perfect world, with a little bit of luck, you like a few of them are kind of skimming on off of her while the rest are kind of done.
Yeah, but I think definitely some hitting will look really interesting.
Err on the side of hitting.
Air on hitting.
Yes, air on hitting, air on hitting. Yes, more is better than too little. Too many is better than
Just
too
throw the whole box at her. All right, guys, here we go. Going for a take.
little. All right.
Camera is rolling.
Yeah, armed. You want me to check that?
It is.
Yeah, it is. Oh,
Yeah, it is.
I saw you double hit.
Double checking. Very good.
All right.
Everybody's recording. Lots of reference videos.
Yeah.
All right, guys, here we go. Going for a take.
Going back to one at full speed, clear.
Okay, and this will be fries on the word action.
Ooh. That's all right. This is so I tried to speed it up, and the robot said no.
Okay, so the robots, sometimes if there's too much movement, the joints can lock up, and so it will say, hey, you can't do that. So that's why testing the speeds before we do anything that's not repeatable, like blowing up a miniature or throwing a lot of fries, is good. But he's just going to adjust the speed, and then we'll be set again. So are we going back to what we had before?
Yeah, let's just go back.
Cool.
I only sped it up 4/24ths of a second. That's all. That's all. The software said, hey,
Yep.
this is as fast as you can go.
Okay, cool. So that's only 1/6 faster, so 12.5% faster. That's not that much.
No, barely anything.
Yeah.
So the software said, hey, you're fine with that. And the robot said, actually, this is Earth. You can't do that.
Yep. It's payload thing too sometimes. Cool, guys. All right, let's go for it. Call it when you're ready.
Stand by, arming robot. Okay, I'm going to do the countdown. Here we go. And 3, 2, 1, go.
Nice.
Okay.
You get hit? I didn't notice. Well, we're about to find out.
Okay, let's play back.
Oh, I see the anticipation in your face.
Uh-oh, yeah.
Oh, great timing though. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, that's
I don't want to block anybody.
You look worried.
I think I'm scared. Oh yeah, where are the fries?
They're coming.
Fries are coming.
We're not even at the quarter of the clip.
So with a ramp, we could just blast through this, right? And then we kind of come up to the next, the impact point.
Because of the prototypes, the signal will go up.
Yeah.
as well.
So that's still in the clip. It's just a display thing. Yep. I like how the fries are creating this like really warm fill. Sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what do you think? One more take with full fry action? Yeah. Okay, let's go back to one. We got this. I think let's go full power. And just hit her with the whole fucking thing. I think he's trying to create some sort of happy medium. Let's just go for full power. Yeah, you're crushing the timing.
No, you're right.
Almost
you're
there.
right. Good thing.
Okay.
No, it's good.
Ready to go back to 1?
Yep.
Ariel, you wanna
We're gonna go full fry power.
take your eyes? Okay.
Dumping. Dumping. Full fry power. That's weird. Anything with like food stuff is always like, what are we filming? Food?
Oh my god.
These are made out of cardboard? What? Okay. Ready to rumble. Staying away from the robot. All right, we saved and armed.
All right. Clear. Robot's moving back to 1.
All right, guys, here we go. Let's go no fill. Yeah, we don't need it. We got plenty of fill. Okay, so we're going for a take. This will be on action, full fry power. Okay,
We go.
call it.
And 3, 2, 1, go.
Wow, big power. Nice.
Let's see.
That's what it looks like. The enthusiasm was there. This is great.
This is great.
It's a block of fries. It's so great.
Coming back in. So this is kind of like, this feeling that we're all feeling right now is always the experience. And usually it's like me throwing something, so like I know the vibe. It's always like high-speed stuff is such a trying to catch a happy accident. Sometimes it's take one, sometimes it's like 40 takes. Like the fact that we already got stuff that's like really usable is really great. Like everybody's really dialed in, we've got a great trigger point, you know, and then it's just, this is always a game of like, there'll be people that, hey, look at, there they go. You know, there'll be people that are like, hey, let's do more takes. People it's like, no, we have it. And, you know, again, like the biggest thing was like we spent the most time setting up, right? We got a pretty fast reset. We got pretty fast shooting. You know, how are we all feeling? Do we want to try maybe just like one last one, or we want to save it and move on to the next setup?
We'll
one more,
always
okay.
Do one more. I think we need to go
Martini.
sooner with the fries, right? Sooner with the fries? Because it's the very end of the shot that the fries finally
Yeah.
come in. So she needs to go back to earlier?
Okay, yeah, so we'll go back to earlier.
Yeah.
We'll go back to earlier. I'll help you guys.
Do you agree?
I would see see a throw from under?
Sure.
Like if we go at 2, because then they're gonna fly up and sort of like spread and fall
That's
down.
fun too.
I think we're gonna get there.
Easier to get to, yeah.
We go up, they spread it, the movement gets more.
So I can talk about. Does anybody do tabletop slow motion with rigs and pneumatic devices and these kinds of things? So what we'll often do when we have these, if we have a French fry shoot that
Yep.
involves French fries, we will often be getting another robot to be doing the pouring.
Exactly.
So that the pouring happens so that we'll adjust it, and the software over there will hit it. It'll say, we'll find out, oh, the robot goes on 1, and then the pour happens at 0.8 seconds. And we'll do the same process of then learning if that was too soon, but we're able to now dial it to 0.7 seconds, like down to the minute, to the thing, to very, very specific things.
That's one of the things that's neat. If you shoot at 1,000 frames a second, then it's just milliseconds, right? So 768 is pretty close. You can do some just basic math,
Yeah.
but you know
But
you have
when
to
you get
offset
down to a
that
process
stuff.
like that, you can start to really dial things into
Yeah.
a much, much more fine degree, and you start to be able to ask requests like, hey, can we just have it heavier French fries in the foreground and less in the background? And then
Yep.
so you can start asking for things like that by making a little rig that gets these down to perfection, to a level of perfection that you want to get, because you're, like you said, cutting out one variable at a time and edging up on it, edging up on it, edging up on it, ultimately results in you controlling variables that you normally wouldn't think are controllable, like the splash bigger on the back of it, because you've gotten past all the main variables that you'd already worry about, like
Yeah.
just framing and this and that, and you're just edging in on the perfection there. It can be tedious, but it's kind of fun. It's like a little Rube Goldberg puzzle that you've got to figure out that we made for
100%.
ourselves.
It's a live art project, guys. All right, sweet. Martini, here we go. Martini. All right, ready. Going, yeah, I think going for, were we just going to change the trigger?
Change the timing on the trigger, yeah.
Or change this fry point?
Yes, so fry is on, so it'll be, not right now, it'll be 3, 2, 1, go, like we did before, or should we make it?
I think 1 is good. Yeah, let's go on 1.
Yeah, because right, this past 2, the fries landed as the camera landed, but we want the fries to fall sooner.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yep.
And err on the side of hitting too many fries. More fries better. Camera's armed. Yep. Get under.
All right, guys, here we go.
Okay, robot moves back to 1. Robot moves. Great. And here we go. You ready? And 3, 2, 1, go.
Nice.
Go again quickly, right away.
One more.
Not watching.
Not watching?
Ah, we missed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can go straight to reset.
Audience, do you have any questions after seeing all of this? We just mesmerized just watching.
Pressure, the French fry pressure.
So we're attempting, do you notice a little choppy? The frame rate that we're playing back at is about 20, and it's just because of the ASIC, the firmware right now that doesn't, the main board isn't going to play back. Right. It'll be smooth as butter, but it's a little slower than it should be, that's why it feels a little choppy.
All right, guys.
We actually get these clips into the computer in a little while.
Oh yeah, then
Yeah,
the camera's
can play it
still
out.
on, yeah.
Yeah, definitely gotta look at it.
Ready?
Armed.
Camera rolling.
Okay.
Okay,
Robot
going
moves
back to 1.
Full speed, back to 1. Clear. Robot moves. Okay, arming. Anybody not ready? Here we go. Good?
Yep, here we go.
Zen mode. It's just like, you gotta like, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, that was pretty good. Did we hit?
So,
I think so. I think we got some hits.
Dear said no.
I can-
Ah, great.
That's called a fry by.
oh,
Pretty great timing. I think we got it, guys. This is awesome. Beautiful. Hey, there it is. It's raining. Fries are your friend. Awesome, guys. Beautiful work. Excellent. All right, so now we can check out the footage, and maybe we'll do a little ramp running around through here.
And yeah, I think there's something else really cool I'd love to share. So you didn't mention it, but audience, you may not believe this, but I actually know him. So you are a industry plant in this case, but I'm sorry, yes, we've broken the illusion, but that's what we do. We make illusions and we break them. He actually, besides being a great director, runs a company called InvisiPro. And the cool thing about InvisiPro, I don't know if I have enough time to explain all the cool things about it, but basically it allows you to emulate all of your favorite film stocks digitally, and not just like a filter or like an overlay. We're talking simulating the real film stocks with a very complex process. And I believe we actually have the clips from yesterday loaded on your station.
We do.
So while we're downloading, we could actually see what InvisiPro does if you're curious about that. And we can play with the clips from yesterday from Ty Evans and pro skater Jamie Foy. We could experiment with them, color correct them in DaVinci,
Absolutely.
push them, pull them, their Cinema DNG raw files, and see what you guys think. We'd love to hear, like, break it. Tell us how bad it is or how good it is, or what you would change about it. And then we can see what InvisiPro could do to it with Invisigrain. Does that sound good?
100% sounds awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, guys.
And then by the time we finish that demonstration, that trial, we should have
we
the
can
clips
download
from
the next
just
stuff,
now
and then we
on
can
the other
check
one.
these out. That's awesome. So
Totally.
yeah, I'll give you guys just the 30-second version of this while we're kind of all here. Basically, I grew up shooting film in the darkroom, and I fell in love with the look of it. And about 10 years ago, I was working on this movie called Beasts of the Southern Wild, which was shot on film, but we had to composite some Red 1 footage with that. And we were like, okay, cool, no problem. We'll just overlay some grain. We'll match the color. And the more grain we added, it didn't match. It was 16 millimeter film. It was so organic, had so much movement. And I thought, wait a minute, this is failing. This isn't working. What if you can't filter video to look like film? But what if you can recreate it out of film grains? What if we're doing it backwards? What if we actually reconstruct the digital image out of silver halide crystals, out of dye clouds? And this started to create a magic, because film is moving. Film is alive. Film has a dance to it. No overlaying of grain on top of pixels is going to do that. You have to make the image out of grain. So I spent the last years, really almost a decade, studying everything that happens to light, from when it strikes the emulsion, scatters down through the layers, bounces off the anti-halation backing, and creates this latent image in the film, right? You have halation, you have all this stuff. But that's just frozen in celluloid. What really happens with film is it goes into the developer bath. And once it's in the bath, the colors become a community, and they actually rob each other. A LUT doesn't do that. A LUT looks at one pixel at a time. But in film, the brighter areas of the image steal developer chemicals from the dark areas. So we've been simulating this. We've created a plugin that you can use in DaVinci Resolve, you can use in Baselight and Nuke, all these different software. And it can do this in real time, on set. So we were very, very fortunate that our first film was Priscilla with Sofia Coppola. And we're now doing, we just finished a movie with Rodrigo Prieto, who chose Invisigrain instead of a film out, recording his movie to film and scanning it back in. He said this actually feels more like a negative. So I'd love to show you guys what we've been up to. And yeah, it's something we've been using not just on big movies, but on independent films, because I built it for myself, right? I believe everybody should be able to shoot on film, but some stocks don't exist. Sometimes we can't afford it. So yeah, go ahead.
So is there like a LUT that you just like install?
It's similar to a LUT.
Okay.
It's similar in the way you use it. You apply it to your footage. It makes the color feel right, but a LUT can never get to where film is, because a LUT is just saying, hey, what color's coming in, what color's going out. It doesn't know what's on the other side of the image, but film does. Because film is a community of color, and that's what Invisigrain is able to do. So yeah, I'll show you guys, and we can check out the footage that we just shot shortly, and certainly the stuff from yesterday. So I'm gonna go over to the computer over yonder, put down my microphone, but yeah, thanks for doing this test together. I'll see you in a second.
And we have some meals left over, too, if anybody's hungry and didn't get their Mr. Charlie's meal. We've got a couple meals. Let's check it out. Let's get in there.